So, because you can go round it in 3 months—" "In 80 days," interrupted Phileas Fogg. "That is true, gentlemen," added John Sullivan. "Only 80 days, now that the section between Rothal and Allahabad on the Great Indian Peninsula Railway has been opened. Here is the estimate made by the Daily Telegraph. From London to Suez via Mont Cenis and Brindisi, by rail and steamboats, 7 days. From Suez to Bombay, by steamer, 13 days. From Bombay to Calcutta, by rail, 3 days. From Calcutta to Hong Kong, by steamer, 13 days. From Hong Kong to Yokohama, Japan, by steamer, 6 days. From Yokohama to San Francisco by steamer, 22 days. From San Francisco to New York by rail, 7 days. From New York to London by steamer and rail, 9 days. Total, 80 days. "Yes, in 80 days," exclaimed Stuart, who in his excitement made a false deal. "But that doesn't take into account bad weather, contrary winds, shipwrecks, railway accidents, and so on." "All included," returned Phileas Fogg, continuing to play despite the discussion. "But suppose the Hindus or Indians pull up the rails," replied Stuart. "Suppose they stop the trains, pillage the luggage vans, and scalp the passengers." "All included," calmly retorted Fogg, adding, as he threw down the cards, "2 trumps." Stuart, whose turn it was to deal, gathered them up and went on. "You are right, theoretically, Mr. Fogg, but practically—" "Practically also, Mr. Stuart?" "I'd like to see you do it in 80 days." "It depends on you. Shall we go?" "Heaven preserve me, but I would wager £4,000 that such a journey made under these conditions is impossible." "Quite possible, on the contrary," returned Mr. Fogg. "Well, make it, then." "The journey round the world in 80 days?" "Yes." "I should like nothing better." "When?" "At once. Only I warn you that I shall do it at your expense." "It's absurd!" cried Stuart, who was beginning to be annoyed at the persistency of his friend. "Come, let's go on with the game." "Deal over again, then," said Phileas Fogg. "There's a false deal." Stuart took up the pack with a feverish hand, then suddenly put them down again. "Well, Mr. Fogg," said he, "it shall be so. I will wager the 4,000 on it." "Calm yourself, my dear Stuart," said Valentin. "It's only a joke." "When I say I'll wager," returned Stuart, "I mean it." "All right," said Mr. Fogg, and, turning to the others, he continued, "I have a deposit of 20,000 at Barings, which I will willingly risk upon it." "£20,000!" cried Stuart. £20,000, which you would lose by a single accidental delay." "The unforeseen does not exist," quietly replied Phileas Fogg. "But, Mr. Fogg, 80 days are only the estimate of the least possible time in which the journey can be made." "A well-used minimum suffices for everything."